GDPR in schools is a piece of software that's been specifically designed for the education market. It helps them monitor, track and manage data protection across their school or groups of schools in the event that they're a MAT or a local authority DPO.
GDPR sent me into quivering wreck when it was first announced, but since it's been implemented and the Act has changed, we've learnt a lot from our local authority, from our DPO and the use of GDPR-IS.
Most schools have realised the importance of data protection, and I think that in the lead up to the 25th of May, lots of people were scared about what was going to happen. We quickly realised that we would be able to provide a service level agreement with schools that would cover off the role of data protection officer, which of course is a legal requirement under the GDPR.
When Merton came to us, it was quite an interesting model of, instead of letting the schools do it for themselves, which has been slowly but surely the way that people have been moving, it was actually no, schools really do need some support.
Data is ever present in everything we do, so from the minute the children walk through the door in the morning, you've got the registers, you have all the contact details. If a child has SEN needs, you have differentiated planning, which all has to be annotated with children's names. Data is absolutely everywhere.
GDPR allows us to, at the moment of breach, as soon as it's reported to us, we're absolutely aware of what's happened. We'll contact the school, and even if we're audited by the Information Commissioner's Office, we can point back to where, how long it's taken us to respond and how well we've dealt with that breach.
It's very, very easy for a breach to occur, so you can't sort of rest on your laurels, but with the GDPR-IS software that we were given as well, I'm more aware. I log on and I see what state we're in, if we need to renew an audit, that type of thing.
What we try and do is bring together the breadth of what schools need. We're driving those risk assessment examples. We're driving what questions you should be asking your suppliers.
GDPR-IS helps, for instance, with the subject access requests that we've received. The data protection officer knows, they're fully on board, remind you, make sure that you've done everything correctly. And then it's signed off as complete and finished. We
have a calendar month to reply to a subject access request. If a breach is reportable to the ICO, it needs to be done within 72 hours. So, there are timeframes around this, and without the software, that would be very difficult.
Anything and absolutely everything that we can do has always been school focused. That partnership there with Merton has been part of that drive.
It is all about transparency and accountability. So evidence of everything that you do with regards to data protection and processing personal data, it's key that you have that evidence, and that is what GDPR-IS provides.
Every time we have a data breach, it makes us stronger because we realise that there's a vulnerability and we're able to patch that vulnerability across 47 schools.
The feedback we've had with Merton has been fantastic. We've been delighted to work with them. They really carefully looked at the different systems that were in place, and we've helped them along that journey and really delivered for their schools across the whole authority.
Merton have been very instrumental in changing the way that schools and local authorities think about how they can work together as a partnership and how they can draw on some real expertise. It's about looking at what can make a real culture change in those schools.
GDPR as a cloud-based product is brilliant for us because it's everywhere. We can use it wherever we are. It makes us effective, it makes us efficient, and it helps us to prove that our schools are compliant.